Dear friends and followers, welcome back to my channel and to an interesting topic which is not only concerns passengers but also pilots and flight attendants, everybody's nightmare, jet lag. I'll talk about what it is, how you can get it, and some helpful tips for what you can do and how to best deal with it. So put away those sleeping masks and let's get started.
JetBlue 1129, you got the Kennedy 1 departure, the runway heading to 1.5 DME, then a right turn heading 100.
Today's video is brought to you by Skillshare. If you want to learn more about photography or how to start your own business or create your own YouTube channel, watch for more information throughout the video. The word jet lag was first introduced in the 1960s by journalist Horace Sutton as he talked about the negative side effects of the aviation jet age. Because at the time the main means of transportation was via ship if you wanted to cross the Atlantic, for example. So let's say you would have wanted to go from Southampton, England to New York, that would have been a 7 to 10 days boat ride. So the passengers slowly adapted to the new time zone whilst being on the ship by just going to bed when the sun had set and woke up as the sun rose over the horizon. But this all changed when the first commercial jet planes were introduced and your body started lagging behind the rapid time zone changes as the Atlantic crossing only took a few hours. So how do you get it? Well, it's not something you get like a disease, although if you read the side effects you can suffer from, it sounds like you need to be hospitalized after each flight. It definitely sounds worse than it is, but there are two main things which determine the severity of jet lag: the overflown time zones and if you're heading east or westbound. Now let's quickly look at a globe, or for the people who think that the world is flat and I spray out chemtrails for a living, please use a plate instead. So one entire rotation of the Earth equals 24 hours, meaning we have 24 different time zones. Now as the Earth is divided in a western and a eastern hemisphere, there are 180 degrees longitude going to the west and 180 degrees going to the east. Add those together and you have the Earth rotation of 360 degrees per day. Now if you divide that by 24, that will equal 15 degrees, meaning every 15 degrees a new time zone begins. Makes sense, right? Now let's say you've booked a flight from Munich, situated on 12 degrees east longitude, to Los Angeles, situated at 118 degrees west longitude. Now as the little Eisbach surfing wave won't do it for you anymore and you want to surf some proper waves. Now you add longitudes together and divide those by 15 degrees and you'll know the time difference and the time zones you've overflown. So 8.6, so that is a time difference of 9 hours. That's a jet lag you will feel, I can promise you that. Now, although you've flown westbound and the mnemonic goes for jet lag, west is best and east is beast, meaning if you set off in Germany at 11 AM, you fly for 12 hours and arrive at 11 PM German time. In LA, your body is ready to go to bed, although it's only 2 PM in LA local time. So you've actually gained some time, and then you'll try to stay up for the rest of the day, and then you'll crash in the evening and most likely wake up in the middle of the night because your body's clock or circadian rhythm tells you to do so. But I'll come back to that in a minute. But if you decide to go surfing in Cape Town, South Africa, you won't suffer from any jet lag at all, as it is within the same time zone as Germany or within the 15-degree longitude window. Now you might suffer from the airplane food and the long flight, but it's a whole nother story. So in general, going along the longitudes, there is no time zone change, except for some countries have decided on an overall time zone, although their country ranges over 5 time zones, such as China, for example. By the way, for the flat earth people, South Africa is just about right here at the edge of the plate, so you do not want to surf out too far, otherwise you're going to fall off the planet. I mean the plate. Just saying. Oh boy. Okay, how can you remember if you need to add or subtract time before you set off out on your trip? Think of London as the center of the earth. Well, it does lie on the zero meridian, and imagine Queen Lizzie sipping some tea whilst having lunch with William and Kate. So it's midday in England, and in the meantime Audrey Hepburn is having breakfast at Tiffany's. So it's early morning in New York. So you subtract time going west, and now picture Mahatma Gandhi having an evening dinner in India, so you add time as you go east. Now let's talk about your circadian rhythm I've mentioned before, or better known as your body's internal clock. Now you know that feeling as you get up at 7 a.m. for 5 days straight, and on the 6th day your body got up without even setting an alarm clock in the evening before. Now your body has adapted itself to getting up at 7 a.m. or let's better say to this rhythm, meaning your body is now ready to get some breakfast as your insulin levels have become lower overnight. So this internal clock helps you to anticipate dusk and dawn, and therefore controls your blood pressure, stress, appetite and many more. So messing with your internal clock, aka jet lag, your body is lagging behind, trying to keep up and adapt to the new dusk and dawn times. Now you'll feel hungry at times you should be sleeping. You're also likely to get headaches, drowsiness and mild depressions and diarrhea. So to counteract these symptoms, these are my 5 tips to deal with jet lag. Now these tips have become second nature to me as I'm dealing with jet lag literally before and after each flight. Tip number 1, light exposure. Now get your body slowly adapted to the new time zone a few days before you set out on your trip. If you're heading east, go to bed earlier the days before by reducing the exposure to light, so a good set of blinds in your bedroom will help. If you're heading west, stay up longer, set your apartment lights to full brightness to trick your body into thinking it's still daylight outside, and treat yourself with a lay-in the next day. I have to admit this advice won't work for everyone as it messes with your social life, and pilots struggle with this method as they fly from one time zone into another one within a few days. But if your flights are primarily into an easterly or westerly time zone, it definitely helps to have prepared a few days in advance. Tip number 2, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. The air within the cockpit and the cabin is so dry and lacks in oxygen that it is counterintuitive for dealing with the upcoming jet lag. You'll feel lazy and sleepy, and the monotone sound on an airplane definitely adds to that. Now to counteract that, I personally drink 1 liter of water for every 3 hours of flight and more. As I cross the Atlantic and fly beyond, 4 liters of water is pretty normal to me. If you don't hydrate, you can actually see your skin drying out with every hour you're in the plane. Don't let that happen. Actually, the best indicator is the tip of your elbow. If that becomes all white and crumbly, you better start drinking. And that immediately brings me to tip number 3. By start drinking, I don't mean to drink any alcohol or caffeine on your flights. I know it's tempting as the booze and the coffee are for free on most of the flights, and you told yourself, yeah, I'm gonna get all drunk and pass out in the flight and drink coffee the next day to adapt quicker to the new time zone. Well, good luck with that. First off, don't drink and fly, otherwise you'll crash and die. Just made it up. Well, all jokes aside, alcohol and caffeine will dehydrate your body even more. Coffee will only work temporarily and make the recovering process of jet lag even longer. And alcohol is never a good idea, but you all know that. The same goes for sleeping pills and melatonin pills. First of all, not every country offers these over the counter. In most parts of Europe, you'll need a prescription for those. And anything which will make you dependent on might be okay for a passenger, but not for pilots. I don't take any pills whatsoever, not even an aspirin, because my approach to it all is my body got itself into this mess, so it might as well find a way of getting out of it. It's as simple as that, to be honest. Tip number 4, adjust your meals for wherever you are. If you eat breakfast every day at 8 a.m. in London, you then should eat breakfast every day at 8 a.m. in Hong Kong, for example. I know this can be harsh depending on when you arrive at your destination, etc. And most often you don't feel hungry at all, but research has found that eating directly affects your insulin levels, and these insulin levels directly affect your body's timekeeping. So eating meals according to your new time zone will help your body to adapt quicker and recover easier from jet lag. And whilst you're at it, make sure it's a healthy food intake, easy digestible, vegetables and soups, for example, not like me, having fast food at an In-N-Out burger right after my lunch. I just had to, or show me a burger spot to eat burgers while spotting planes on short final. And my last and most effective tip, exercise and fresh air. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you've been sitting on a plane for more than 12 hours, your body is literally striving for some exercise. I know everyone feels even more exhausted and tired after a long flight, but for me, going for a run and pushing some weights at the gym has proven to be the most effective way of recovering or dealing with jet lag. Go for a walk in the park to get that last bit of bad airplane air out of your system and give your body a chance to hit that reset button. I'm not saying run a marathon, just get your heart rate up and your blood pumping through your muscles, and you'll feel so much better, I promise you that. And whilst you're out and about, catch a sunrise or sunset, which will trigger your mind to adapt quicker to the new dusk and dawn rhythm. I also get a lot of questions how I set my watch during longer layovers. My watch is always set to local time in my home base in Luxembourg. My phone is always set to local time of destination I'm at, and my company iPad is always set into UTC time as I use it as an alarm clock in accordance with my flight schedule, which is also set in UTC. Please comment below if you have any other great advice in dealing with jet lag. I'm sure many others can profit from your advice, and I'll be happy to try out some new stuff too. By the way, today's video was brought to you by Skillshare, the place dedicated to helping you making your passion a full-time job. Skillshare is an amazing online community where you can improve your knowledge and skills in photography, videography, business, and many other categories. Thousands of classes are available to step up your game. For example, if you're an airplane spotter and you want to make the most out of your camera, check out their photography courses. So you'll learn how to take the best shots of the best aircraft in the world. I recently wanted to add more animations to my YouTube videos, so I chose this great course about how to create animations with Motion 5. It's just so much easier having an expert guiding you step by step through the process. So click onto the link in the description box below, because the first 500 subscribers get 2-month premium membership for free. So best of luck improving your skills with Skillshare. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your time. To become my wingman, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss out upcoming videos. And don't forget, a good pilot is always learning. See you next week. All the best, your Captain Joe.